So, Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. Soon as the pressure is on this football club, Kenny, the club folds. 3 losses in a row domestically and 3 losses in the last 4 games
Yeah.
collectively. And let's be real, the game that we nicked the other night against Sporting weren't much better than today. We were absolutely awful from the get-go. I thought the starting 11 was abysmal, probably the worst we could have picked out the squad available.
Mm.
He sat in a press conference gassing up Eze all week and then benched him, and then he did nothing when he came on.
Mm.
You know, every single one of them players today, Madwakey, 29, Jesus Christ. No subs at half time, and we got everything we deserved in the end. Make sure you
Well,
follow Kenny Chem 1972 on Insta. What did you make of it, Kenny? It's a nice sunny day. He's got the shades on.
because I've got transitional glass lenses. So obviously, when the sun comes out, and it's very rare, basically the glasses go dark. When it's normal, it's normal lenses. One thing I want to say is that everything you said is true, but the fact is, first and foremost, Bournemouth deserve a lot of credit. I've got nothing but respect for them. The last team to beat Bournemouth was us on the January the 3rd, and since then they've had good results. And they look like a team that's been unbeaten since January. And the reason why they won today is because they played their football. They had nothing to fear. They won the second ball battle. They won their duels in terms of like keeping possession, passing the ball. Apps made it look so easy. The way they had players marking them, the movement from their defenders, their movement from the midfield, the movement up top was just absolutely brilliant. Another thing as well, they're very organised as well. They didn't even bother pressing us because they know that we're cracking the ball anyway. So what they did is sat back, played a high line and said, right, come and play, knowing full well Zubimendi was pathetic. Pathetic. It was pathetic. It was a shit show. Declan Rice was playing a double pivot in a game that we should be winning because Zubimendi is on like basically he looked like someone who played like he's got a tank because he's on licence. And then you've got Madueke, not good enough today. You know, like I said, running the ball out of play, had a lot of play. Martinelli, nothing to report of any significance. And then Benjamin White, he wasn't too bad, but when Benjamin White plays, especially in defensive situations, it's like he needs a couple of bodyguards around him. You look at the first goal. The first goal, it was a sequence of play where basically Arteta is telling Madueke in a break-up of play, watch Truffer, because I can see it right in front of me. He says, watch Truffer. Madueke gets sucked into the middle of the field. Truffer and like I said, Tavernier have a little 1-2 situation. Before you know it, Benjamin White's in no man's land because he hasn't got his bodyguard Madueke with him, or Saliba getting out of trouble. Good cross by Trofek. Second ball, Croppy puts the ball in the net, and it was like a situation where Bournemouth looked in complete control. We got a lucky penalty. Gyökeres put the ball in the back of the net, and then you go in half time. You can see from the second half, Bournemouth came out. The goalie came out, looked really confident, and Bournemouth were bossing the game. One incident where you just knew Mick Arteta's run out of gas, in terms of mentally, and he hasn't got a plan B. He plays his hand in the 54th minute by bringing on Dowman, Madueke and Trossard. Now he thinks that by bringing those guys on, that the game is going to change. What he did is he actually made the game easier for Bournemouth because he should have factored in Zubimendi not being involved in the game. So how are you going to get the ball to Eze? How's Eze then going to get the ball out to Dowman and Trossard when Zubimendi is getting dominated in midfield, pressed by two players? And you've got Declan Rice playing double pivot. In fact, what it does, because those two players can't get in the ball, because like I said, Trossard is not particularly great defence, because Zam is 16, it made the game easier for Bournemouth. Before they got their seconds, we got a warning sign where, again, we're giving the ball away, getting ourselves into danger. Last-ditch tackle saved the day. Instead of heeding that warning, did we heed that warning, Lee? No, we bloody didn't. What we did is that we made the same mistake 10 minutes later, and then they got the second. And after that, it was controlling the game. Yes, we huffed and we puffed and we tried to, like I said, blow the castle down. And guess what? In a tactical manoeuvre that not even I could have thought of, Jesus goes and plays deep, and Gabriel Magalhaes goes up top for the knockdowns. This is Arsenal bloody Football Club League. This is a team that is meant to be playing for the title. Yet, this is a team that doesn't want to win the title, a team that was running on empty, Declan Rice running on empty, our defenders who have been injury prone all season running on empty, a goalkeeper who knows this, can't kick it long because our striker can't hold the ball up. And he can't kick it long as well because our striker never wins any of his duels. And then when you try to play the ball through the middle, he ain't got the pace. So once again, it's an easy game for Bournemouth. And then yes, he got his penalty. Yes, he tried to work a chance to get the equaliser. But apart from that, nothing.
Yep.
And this is a team that is meant to win the league. This is a squad which is the best in the country, Lee. The best in the country. Yet it's such a great squad that certain players only play when there's a necessity, when there's out of necessity, not because the manager rates them. So guess what? Dalman is now the next best thing because Saka's injured and Madueke keeps running the ball out of play. That's what we're reduced to. And then we've got the two dibbly-dobblies. We've got dibbly-dobbly, Trossard, who's good at everything but master of none. And you've got Speedy Gonzalez from Sao Paulo who ain't got a clue how to beat his man anymore. And that's where we are this season. And the thing is, I was coming out the ground. One of my old friends says the league is done. Hoggy, good friend of ours, says the league is done.
Yep.
Dan says the league is done. My brother says the league is done. This is a team that is 9 points in front, where we got a game. Where City got a game in hand. City are playing tomorrow, and we know that if City win tomorrow, and if City win it at the Etihad against us, it is done. Because guess what? When we're called negative, people are saying, oh, they want Arsenal to lose, so they're proven right, so they can have another agenda to get the manager out. No, we're saying all of this because we know. Because guess what, Lee? We've seen this film script before. We've seen this bloody movie. We saw this bloody movie 3 years ago. If you kind of rewind, Easter Sunday, 8 points. Man City got a game in hand. We play Liverpool. We get a point. Sorry, we're 7 points ahead of Man City game in hand. We play Liverpool, get a point. Man City have their game in hand. We draw against West Ham, draw against Southampton, play Man City, we're level on points, and Man City have a game in hand. And guess what? Our 8 points, come the end of the season, they win the league by 4 points. Can you see the parallels?
Yeah, it's embarrassing. And the thing is as well, I don't think people have factored in there. They got 2 games in hand, both of them against London teams. Yeah. None of them London teams want us to win the league, mate. Yeah. They got Palace and they got Chelsea. Yeah. Right? Chelsea, they've still got to play Bournemouth away. Yeah. Yeah. But let's be real, nobody likes us. Yeah. None of these teams like us, Kenny, because of the way we play and the dark arts. And we need a goal, and David Raya is standing with his foot on the ball for over a minute. Yeah. Passed it out to Ben White, who passed it straight back, and he did it again. Yeah. It's like we're 1-1, mate. We need a goal.
And there is the situation you spoke about. The fact that we are playing teams who are going to up the tempo. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Chelsea are going to never always raise the game against the big teams whenever they play at a bridge. But that's by the by. We've let Man City back in, and this time, now we're letting them back in. They're gonna take advantage because Haaland's back in the goals and Shirky's playing football. But let's talk about Raya. Let's talk about the psychology. Not the psychology of this team and the psychology of the manager. We're 9 points ahead of the lead, right? And Raya, our goalkeeper, and the manager knows that if we lose this game, he knows the character of his teammates. The manager knows the character of his team, and that's why he had Raya going up for the corner, because he knew that we lose this game, that it's highly likely we're going to crumble. Now let me tell you something now. The players don't want this to happen. The manager doesn't want this to happen. But they know there's nothing coming from the manager. There's nothing coming from, Nicholas Shover. If there's no set pieces, like I said, working or Declan Rice isn't, getting the ball in the mixer or the throws not in, Nicholas Shover does nothing. Where was Heinze today, helping his manager? Nothing. They're all scared. They all realise that there is nothing coming, and they're hoping.
How many times did you see unforced errors where players were running into each other on our own team? Yeah, you wouldn't have seen it in the ground, but on TV, in the second half, before their second goal, there was a passage of play around the back, right? And they zoomed in on Gabby Magalhaes. She looked like he'd seen a ghost, mate. He was petrified today. But then we threw him up front, and he did more up front than Jokeris, apart from the penalty.
And then
it's embarrassing. We were upside down.
Yeah, and then he gave away a free kick where he's so anxious and so heavy legs, where he basically was trying to flick the ball into the back of the net. That's what we're reduced to. People think that we're this great side and that we play great football.
We're winging it, Kenny.
I mean, so can you hear me?
Yeah, we're winging it, mate. We've been winging it all season.
That's what but we're talking on the podcast. Good friend of ours, someone I've got a lot of time for, although I don't agree with him. He says that we've been playing some good football this season. What's he talking about? We haven't played good football for 18 months. Is he in denial? But that's the situation. We're in a situation where we've got no creativity, no one's good on the ball, and everyone is playing out of memory. The players that are meant to come back, Saka hasn't done anything all season. Odegaard, who's meant to change the tempo, is basically mastered the art of doing a lot without doing anything. And then guess what? Comes next Sunday, he's going to rush Timber back. And then what will happen is that Timber will break down and break down and break down. This is a team that basically is running empty, is hoping they're going to win the league, not thinking they're going to win the league. And you know the situation there, right? People think, how can you say Arsenal won't win the league, and how can you be so pessimistic? Well, I'm not truly funny, right? Arsenal fans know the club better than anyone else. The pundits, from the YouTube pundits, the professional pundits, or who formulate ex-players, they know this Arsenal team. They know that we're bottlers. So when people have the audacity to say, I'm out of order for saying Arsenal are bottlers, well, describe this. How do you describe a team that is 9 points ahead of the game, where they lose against a team that's got nothing to play for, a team who's just about in the top half of the table? They're going to play relegation-threatened West Ham. They don't win against West Ham. They play Fulham, who've got nothing to play for. They struggle in that game. And then they play Newcastle, where they likely to struggle. And then they happen to win the league. They happen to lose the league. And the team that was 9 points ahead happens to win the league by 3 points. What description can you give a team that is 9 points ahead of the table come the 11th of April and end up losing the league by the 24th of May? What other description can you give this team? Please tell me.
Bottle jobs. The bottle jobs.
Please tell me. Because don't you dare say we're fucking unlucky, mate. And I don't swear, mate. Don't you dare say we're unlucky. This has been a process that has been going on for a long time, 6 years, and we still haven't learned anything. We've got a manager who's been here 6.5 years, and he still has shown his inexperience. He has not formulated a plan B. He's not been able to deal with in-game management. It's terrible, and he's not able to motivate his secondary players into playing his way of playing, and that's why he flogs all our main players. And guess what? When you flog your players, especially your injured ones, guess what happens? When it comes to the business side, the championship ranks, you've got nothing left. But who knew, A-Lee? Who knew?
Exactly. Listen, get him safe, mate. And we do this again on Wednesday, Kenny. Obviously, you'll be there.
Wednesday, and we got the podcast as well.
Podcast on Monday. Listen, have a nice evening, and make sure you enjoy your dinner. Mikel told us to bring our dinner. Yeah, well, he's going to bloody need it when we get hold of him.
I'll tell you one thing, mate. I don't know, man. I don't even know where Mikel lives, mate, but I like to have a conversation with Mikel. No, a serious conversation. I say, mate, do you actually rate some of your substitutes?
He don't.
Is it? And the second question I ask him, is it really that essential that you play players who are 50% fit and run him at the ground? Haven't you learnt anything from the last,
No.
3 seasons?
It's a gimmick. The whole thing's a gimmick. He sat in a press
is a
conference
gimmick?
sucking off Eze for about fucking 6 questions, then put him on the bench.
Yeah, well, like I said, and then all I can say right now, please don't tell me I've got an agenda. I have eyes, you know.
Yep.
I have eyes. I'm not going to be silenced. We don't
No.
win this league, and we don't win the Champions League. Don't try and silence me. I will not shut up. I'll be screaming and shouting for change, like I have in the last few seasons. And I won't shut up until the club listens to me. I won't
Yeah,
be
facts.
silenced. I won't
Well
be
said. Get him
silenced.
safely, mate. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
I'll
And
try to.
we'll catch up Monday, mate. Love you, brother.
Love
Take
you
care,
too.
mate.